along. My sagot helping me is Jello. First up is Tita Odette Cruz. Everybody's Tita.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Mabuti.
Hello.
Okay, ano ang problema? But first, attorney, she's so nervous and she wants to give you a hug. Can she? Enough. Come here. My wife's watching. Okay. Tita, ano po question po ninyo? Kalmado na ba kayo?
Yes.
Alright. Inspired, right?
Very.
Okay. Go for it. What's your question?
My question is for my brother. That was a petition and came here, and actually he was secretly married.
Okay.
And he came here like a single.
So he's petitioned by
my parents.
Okay.
And went back to the Philippines and remarried the same woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then came back here and decided that he's ready to get his wife and 2 kids.
Okay.
And upon the approval of the petition, they were interviewed and they realized that he was actually did something wrong from the beginning, that he was actually
single. You realized.
Right.
Okay.
And then it took like 3 years. We're still going back and forth, trying to do research, and they stumbled upon on the petition. And then
for the marriage contract.
Right.
Okay.
And then currently, about 3 days ago, we checked the status of the petition, and it states that they returned or reaffirming the approval of the case and return all the papers to the Department of State for processing a visa. What does that mean?
Okay. So who petitioned? Your parent?
My parents petitioned.
Was your parent a citizen or immigrant?
U.S. citizen.
At the time they petitioned?
Yes.
Okay. So what's going on? Apparently, her brother was petitioned as single, and he is what I refer to as a married single. Petitioned as single but secretly married. He immigrates to the U.S. as single and childless, returns to the Philippines, marries the second spouse again, or marries the same spouse a second time, and then tries to petition her and the kids using the second date of marriage. Apparently the embassy found the first marriage contract, sent it back to USCIS,
right.
And now USCIS has returned it back to the U.S. Embassy, and you're asking what's going on, correct?
What does that mean? Is that
okay.
It's already approved? Do we have any more problems? Or is that it?
So apparently the embassy sends it to USCIS, and it could be that maybe in your response you convince them, I don't know what would have said, or maybe the embassy's file or documentation was not complete. They did not include the first marriage contract, so the USCIS could not make a proper revocation of the petition, because I've seen that happen sometimes. The case will be returned, but not all the documentation is there, so the USCIS says there's not enough here. They send it back to Manila, but then Manila says, oh, okay, now we'll return it a second time with all of the proper documentation, including that marriage contract. So I don't want you guys to start putting your champagne on ice and getting ready to celebrate, because if somebody's being petitioned as single, they're supposed to remain single until they arrive in America. I would have to see more about that case. If I was the attorney, I would evaluate whether or not the first marriage was valid under the appropriate laws, whether proper procedures were filed. Was he eligible to receive a visa, even if he was married, if your parents were U.S. citizens, or see what else can be done in that case.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it's hopeless, and I'm not saying that USCIS returning it back to Manila is a sign that all is clear. Maybe the embassy may send it back a second time, okay?
Okay.
Oh,
thank you.
Salamat po, Odette. Okay. Muna po tayo.